wrestling fans, here we are, this UWA title shot, so we're led to believe, against the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm and the Anarchist Doug Williams. But Johnny there just seems to be complaining rather than wrestling, Steve.
Well, there you are, Simon, already raising the question of whether or not this is indeed a title shot. The Anarchist Doug Williams has said it's a title shot. Johnny Storm has said it's a title shot. Just because there aren't any UWA officials here does not mean this isn't a title shot.
Well, I'm just going to leave it at that for now then. Let's get back to this hot action. There you could just see there, beautiful counter moves there from Johnny Storm. Beautiful mat wrestling there. And
look at the crowd, they love him. The crowd love Johnny Storm, he's won them over. That's beautiful. It's great to see it, that an audience has that affection for a top athlete. It's wonderful. It's got to improve his game as well.
Beautiful drop kick. Beautiful drop kick there. But the other question that I have to ask is,
where do babies come from?
Look at that beautiful backdrop there, and a huge clothesline over the top rope there, and Johnny Storm out of there, halfway into the crowd there. And
someone's going to pour beer on him. Oh no, he's going to get a cider bar. Look at the state of them.
Now the question I was going to ask, Steve, is the Anarchist. I mean, this is the only member of Steve Linsky's stable that Steve Linsky doesn't really take an interest in. I mean, he's so wrapped up.
What evidence have you got for that?
Well, he's so wrapped up in Drew McDonald, Mad Dog McPhee, but then the Anarchist goes and gives Johnny Storm a title shot.
Oh, Johnny defeated Big Papa T a few weeks ago. He deserves one. He's been thoroughly vindicated as a challenger.
And Johnny is actually showing signs that he is a worthy challenger for the UWA title. Even though, you know, his match, he did win Big Papa T, and that is what's going to go down in the record books. I mean, I saw it.
Well, why are you quibbling with it then?
Well, we all knew what happened there.
Oh my God!
2? No! Oh!
Just a 2 count for the Anarchist. Yeah, what's your beef, baby? What's your beef with that?
Well, I have no beef. I'm just... Look at this action. Anarchist taking Johnny Storm down to the mat.
You were quibbling with Johnny Storm's victory over Big Papa T.
All I'm going to say is that we know that Frank had something to do with that, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, the mysterious Frank. I wonder if he's here today.
And look at this beautiful technical mat abilities by Johnny Storm there. Rolls out there, gets the Anarchist into a headlock, but the Anarchist reverses it, reverses again, and a huge clothesline. Takes Johnny Storm down to the mat, and the Anarchist just kicking Johnny while he's down.
Oh, the Anarchist will be weeping buckets over that one.
Yes, it's interesting to see that the Anarchist chose Johnny Storm, of all people. Huge clothesline off the top rope there. It's interesting to see, and a cover. 1, 2, no, and a kick out. Ooh. Thought we was going to have a close one there.
Now what's that ref doing? Now what does he think he's doing?
Dear me, the referee pushing Johnny Storm out there. And Johnny Storm just goes out of there. And Johnny getting back his composure. Oh, but Anarchist is going to bring him in his own way. Huge suplex, and over it goes. Yes. Oh, a 2, 3. Oh! That was 2 and 3
Johnny
quarters.
Johnny Storm, I have to say, it's got everyone against him. He's got the mob here outside the ring who aren't supporting him, and the referee.
2. Oh no, Johnny. There you go. You see, Johnny knew he was in trouble and he's grabbing onto the referee's leg. He's begging. Please! Oh, kick to the midsection and another, but Doug retaliates, whips him into the ropes, and beautiful move! Absolutely fantastic move there. Beautiful from Johnny Storm, and it just goes to show it doesn't matter how big you are, you know. Look at it, and I think we're going to see something big here. Huge!
Oh, yes!
Shooting star press onto the outside, and Johnny still continues to pummel the Anarchist, Doug Williams.
And now the ref's out now, and just look at the cast of the Deliverance looking on. They love it.
Referee issuing a count. Whoa! What a move! Whoa! Frankensteiner there. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. But of course, Johnny, let's see that move again, please. Beautiful move. Into the Frankensteiner. Takes Doug down. Johnny there celebrating, but I don't think this crowd is actually behind Johnny Storm. Oh! Punch to the midsection. Johnny with elbows to the top of the head. This match is going back and forth. Huge press slam. Oh!
Johnny! I think his voice is going to be a few octaves higher after that one, Simon.
Oh, dear me. My eyes are watering just watching this. And again...
And that's because you've got a dripping sandwich in front of you. You want to stop talking so you can eat it. But Johnny now has gone outside the ring again, and just look at the area outside this ring. It's covered in empty cider cans, beer cans. I mean, it's worse than actually being tossed out of a normal ring onto a hard mat.
Yeah, there's no mats outside here. Dear me. I mean, look, there's no guardrails or anything. I mean, are these wrestlers safe?
This is wrestling in the Raw, there's no doubt about that.
Well, Steve, the question on my mind is this.
Where do babies come from?
No, not at all, Steve. My question is this. As you know, the Anarchist is signed to fight 100% British beef Danny Royal in just over 2 weeks' time at Barking. Why has he gone into a match with a high flyer? Because all the power moves that you've seen him do, lifting Johnny Storm, slamming him, he's not going to be able to do this as effectively on Danny Royal. Why, you know, this is not a match I would have signed.
Now look at this now! This is what it looks like. The Duck, the Anarchist, just wants to give him a kick in. He's not interested in wrestling here. He just wants to dish out some brutality.
And
Johnny Storm begging, no! No, don't throw me into that smelly mob again, he's saying. I'll fight you, I'll happily fight you in the ring, but don't throw me out into the cast of the Deliverance.
Yeah, but as you can see there, Johnny with a few tricks up his sleeve there, pulls the Anarchist, using that leverage of his tights into that corner, and here we go, John's going to the top. Beautiful move, absolutely fantastic. 2, and no, the 2 count there. I honestly would not have signed a fight against Johnny Storm knowing that my next title fight is going to be against Danny Royal. That's if the Anarchist retains this title, because Johnny is showing so much charisma, high-flying ability there. We may have a new champion. And huge frog splash!
I think you could be right,
2,
Simon!
Oh! Kick out at 2 there. I mean, nobody really knows what's going on in the Anarchist's mind. He's a law unto himself, you know, a chaos theory that he goes on about. He doesn't look, and look at this, look at this.
He's having some chaos theory now.
Oh, bang! 1,
this
2,
could be it.
3, it's all over. It's all over. The Anarchist retains the title, if indeed the title was on the line, and if it was, he's well and truly retained it.
Well, we never saw any belt produced. I think if he had to actually swap his belt over, I think it would have had to have been made out of empty beer cans, kindly donated by the good
And look at this,
Angels
look at this, look at this, slapping Johnny round the face there. This is one man you don't mess with, and that's the Anarchist, Doug Williams.
I think he just wanted to teach him a wrestling lesson. It was a wrestling masterclass which he wanted to prove to anyone watching, anyone out there watching. He wanted to prove that he could fight anywhere, anytime, anyhow. Doug Williams with that chaos theory, absolutely stunning. But right now, the reason why we're all here, the defense of Iron Duke's motorbike by Too Far Gone in that contest with the Death Squad, and we're going to hear from them right now.
Death Squad, you wanted this match. We're here. We're not ones to back down from a challenge. We're doing this in front of your home crowd.
Death Squad, Bulldog Bash. It's time to put up or shut up.
This heap of rubbish that you call your motorbike, we're putting that on the line tonight. But this one's not about beating you, Death Squad. This one is about hurting you.
Wow, this time it is personal. It is gonna get ugly. Make sure you're there after this.
UWA Wrestling Rampage is coming to the Broadway Theatre Barking on Friday, September the 3rd, and you can be there live. The UWA Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when British Beef Danny Royal gets his long-awaited title shot against champion the anarchist Doug Williams. And after his sensational betrayal at the hands of his former protege, it's payback time when Phil Powers takes on Paul Sloan, master against student.
Vengeance will be mine! Let me tell you a little story. It seems like Phil Powers used to be the UWA television champion. Well, the last couple of days I've been laying back injured. I even had a day when I was in hospital, and I was laying back in hospital talking to these two old fogies. And you want to know what I was talking to them about? I was talking to them about how Phil Powers has just become a loser. How has Phil Powers just become a loser? Paul Sloan, you've just completely and utterly screwed me out of the UWA television title. Steve Knight, well, you know what you've done to me, my friend. And Kerry Cabrero, well, let me tell you something about Kerry Cabrero. You've got a big receipt coming your way, courtesy of yours truly. But let me get back to that point, okay? There I was, sitting back in my little hospital bed. I was telling these two old fogies about when I was at school, how I was the school dork, how I was nothing but a loser at school, how I used to be a national swimmer, but how Phil Powers always used to come second. You see, old Phil Powers here always used to come second. He never used to win. It was always somebody else that used to win. Take my brother, for instance. Oh yeah, my brother, he was the best at everything he did, but old Phil Powers here, he always used to come second. So there I was laying back, and all of a sudden I had a visitor coming into the room, and somebody, an old friend of mine, said to me, Phil, look at the bigger picture. And I thought to myself, look at the bigger picture. How could I look at the bigger picture? I've just hit complete and utterly bottom. I am the bottom of the barrel in professional wrestling. So he said, look at the bigger picture. And then he said to me, Phil Powers, Broadway Theatre, Barking, September the 3rd, I'm going to put you in that ring with Paul Sloan. So, there we are, it's going to be Phil Powers, September the 3rd at the Broadway Theatre. I'm going to be taking on Paul Sloan, and as the old quote said, Paul Sloan, I'm not going to quote it, but I didn't teach you everything I know. So, hey, buddy, you don't know everything that Phil Powers knows. But I'm just going to tell you one thing, Paul Sloan. You think you've got what it takes to become a professional wrestler. You haven't even started your apprenticeship, my friend. Just remember that. You're going to face the flyer Phil Powers. And let me tell you, Sake, it ain't going to be pleasant. There's going to be guts in that ring. There's going to be blood all over the place. And the people of Barking, yeah, that's right, my family, are going to see that the flyer Phil Powers is no loser. He's the best goddamn wrestler that ever lived!
Will Phil Powers get his revenge? We'll find out on September the 3rd. Plus, TV champion Hot Stuff Stevie Knight, Kerry Cabrero, Mad Dog McPhee, Big Papa T, and many, many more. If you want to be there when the cameras roll at the Broadway Theatre Barking on Friday, September 3rd, call the UWA ticket hotline on 0181 591 9662 and experience the Rampage live.
So, too far gone. How do you fancy your chances about keeping your title tonight?
Whoa, hold it there, Lana. This is just for the bike. Death Squad, you don't deserve a title shot yet, son. Prove it that you can take the bike back.
Listen, Death Squad, we've made it quite clear this is not a title shot. The bike's on the line tonight, and you're putting something on the line. Tiny girls, you're on the line tonight. It's you versus the bike. And we don't really care if we lose the bike, because it's a load of rubbish. But Tiny girls, tonight, you're coming home with Too Far Gone.
We'll see about that. I don't think you could handle us.
back from Too Far Gone. But this is how it all happened. With the intervention of this mysterious bodybuilder who slammed Terrell down on Hammer Mark Myers. And with Iron Duke Lynch being strangled outside the ring, he was not happy.
The Ultimate Wrestling Alliance, the referees, the officials, how can you take a tag team championship when I'm outside the ring being strangled by a television cable flecked? The next time anyone sees me wrestling, I'll be on home territory. And that is all I have to say.
And that's how we got here today, people. And there you see Too Far Gone proudly displaying that bike, which they won underneath the noses of the Death Squad. But they're not too happy with it. They don't like it. Or is it just mind games?
Well, they don't like the belts, they don't like the bike. One thing I am going to comment on, where is their bodybuilder friend? They seem to have come up here on their own.
The Incredible Hulk, where is it? Who knows?
I'll tell you something, Steve. They're very courageous, plucky guys coming up here on their own. I mean, with this crowd who are obviously all going to be behind the Death Squad, on the Death Squad's home turf, between and in front of all their home crowd, family, friends, they've all gathered to see one thing and one thing only, and that's the Death Squad. If it was me, I would have definitely brought some sort of insurance policy. And here they come with the beautiful Tiny Girls on their own ground. Here they come. They're coming to reclaim what is rightly theirs, Steve.
Yeah, they want that bike back. And just imagine it. Just imagine if they were to lose this. The humiliation in front of this group of supporters, which is obviously their natural constituency. Imagine the humiliation. Plus losing the Tiny Girls because they're also on the line. Unbelievable. It is an absolute must-win situation. Oh, hello. It is an absolute must-win situation for the Death Squad. It's possibly the most important fight in their career.
Yes, I cannot agree more with you, Steve. Too Far Gone have nothing to lose and everything to gain, but the Death Squad have their reputation on the line, the Tiny Girls on the line, and to lose in front of their home crowd, their kind of people, will be the most humiliating, demeaning thing that could happen to the Death Squad. So they have everything to gain in this one, Steve.
Come on, no. Tell them to rule, man. Just make them listen to the rules.
I want the clean fight.
Come on, let's see you. Come on.
Louder! And listen to this crowd get behind the Death Squad. As you can hear there, Steve, these people love the Death Squad, but it doesn't seem to be phasing Too Far Gone.
Too Far Gone. They're taunting Too Far Gone. But an issue I would raise with you, Simon, is the fact that this referee has also been handpicked by the Death Squad. Another factor which could benefit the two Sheffield boys.
Well, I've got to say this, Steve, the referee was extremely down the middle between the Anarchist and Johnny Storm, so why he has to go either way in this match is beyond me.
Well, we'll wait and see. The proof is in the pudding, as they say, but Duke Lynch putting it about and receiving it at the moment.
Huge corner and a drop kick sends the Duke down to the mat there. And again, oh, monkey climb, and over he goes. He bounced him all the way over the ring there. That is amazing. Look at the size of Iron Duke Lynch there, and Paul Terrell just jumping up there and flinging him halfway across the ring, but getting his just desserts there. Huge right hand there to the throat of Paul Terrell, and here we go. Huge press slam. Where's he going? Oh dear.
Straight into beer cans. Oh my God. And what's the Tiny Girls doing there? Kicking him and slap. Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of that myself. I'd stay out.
But what's this? What's this? Paul Terrell has picked up a beer can. Is he going to use this?
No, he hasn't. What are you on about? He hasn't picked up a beer can at all.
And look at that. Low blow by Steve Morocco. Paul Terrell has still got that beer can and the referee's doing nothing about it. I don't think he's seen it.
He just fancies a cold one, that's all.
Whoa! Dear!
Just fancied a cold one, wouldn't you? Surrounded by all these big sweaty bikers.
Dear me. And again, Paul taking Mark Myers down to the ground, trying to wear him down with a wear down hold there. Perfectly legal hold there, and Mad Mark Myers just escapes out of it, takes hold of the wrist there into a wrist lock. Beautiful moves there. Into the armbar. Paul Terrell is obviously suffering and in some sort of pain there.
Well, as we've said, Simon, there is just so much at stake in this fight here for the Death Squad. I can't wait to see what happens. Join us for more after this. Welcome back, one and all, to the Bulldog Bash here on UWA Wrestling Rampage. We've got some interesting fixtures coming up in future weeks here on Wrestling Rampage. Make sure you find out all about those live events coming up on the UWA hotline. But right now, Mr. Bridlington, what is going on?
Absolute mayhem is going on here. The referee doesn't know which way to turn. Everyone's been in the ring and the referee is only just now getting order back to this match. But look at this, the referee. Oh!
And now, Hammer Mark.
Dear me, the referee
He's taking it from too far gone. I tell you what, I'm impressed by the way these boys have come out here and they've not been overawed by what they've been surrounded by. A lot of people would have found this situation and the surroundings intimidating, knowing it was Iron Duke and Mad Mark or Hammer Mark, whatever he's calling himself right now, in front of their home crowd. But these boys have come out, they've not been frightened, they've not been overawed or intimidated, and they're here for one thing only, and that is to dish it out again to the Death Squad.
Look at this. A two count there. As I was about to say, look at how these two guys function as a tag team.
Now what's that ref doing?
The referee was just protecting himself there. And Mad Mark Myers there picks up Paul Terrell, backs him into the corner, huge posting, back out, huge backdrop there, huge backdrop. As I was saying, these two tag teams function so well together, they really do. And a count, 1, 2, and that was a bit of a slow count, if I don't mind saying.
No, not at all, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness, great, did you see that? What a clothesline there.
Now, whilst Paul Terrell is out in the crowd, I hope a few of these punters take a look at his dress sense, because they do well to copy that, smarten themselves up a bit.
Back in there, Steve Morocco. What power there. Picking up Mad Mark Myers, going to the second strand there, and misses with the knee. Oh no! Mad Mark Myers taking control. Huge clothesline, it nearly took his head off there. And now Mark Myers going to the top. And do we have a cover? 2, no, I don't believe it. That count was very slow there, but Mark tags in the Iron Duke Lynch. Here we go. Big suplex coming up. Holding him up there. That takes some power, Steve. Believe you me, that takes some power. He's got him up there right 10 seconds.
How would you know? The only thing you've lifted is a dripping sandwich whilst being sat here.
Oh! Bit of a low blow there. And then using his laces on his boots. Referee taking him to one side saying, we're not having any of that, son. We're not having any of that. Huge headbutt.
Is that exactly how the referee talks? I don't think he's that articulate.
Steve Morocco taking control. And what's this? Again, this is the second time I have seen the pad being exposed and the look at this.
Well,
look at this.
Why isn't it fastened on there properly?
Well, I think you'll find,
This is a
Steve,
safety procedure that should be undertaken before any matches take place, and it's simply not happening. I want to complain to UWA officials, to Mick McManus himself. I know his word is lower, but that is really out of order.
Will you be serious? Will you be serious? As you could perfectly see there, Paul Terrell ripped off, and look at this, while the referee's back's turned, Iron Duke Lynch getting a bit of justice and throws Steve Morocco out of the ring. Oh, dear me! I mean, this match...
was dirty.
No, I mean, this is a match that can go anywhere.
You got he's drinking. Iron Duke just came out there to have a quick drink.
Steve, do you see...
That's not very professional.
Steve, do you see any UWA officials here today?
No.
No, exactly. So it's anything goes. It must be. No, a beautiful drop kick onto... Oh, and what's happening in here? Oh, my God. Duke Lynch just picked up Paul Terrell and threw him onto Steve Morocco on the outside. Now that, my friend, is power. And I think if they're not careful, they're going to get counted out here.
I think they are. They're in real danger here. But Mark Myers coming in, pulling them back in the ring. They want to dish out a little bit more.
Duke Lynch takes over with the arm there. What is he doing? Paul Terrell must be, and I don't know if you could see that, Steve.
I think, yes, he's just, the boy Morocco's just pulled Mark Myers down and dishing out a little bit to him.
Oh my goodness! Pile driver onto that grass there. I mean, you might think that grass is soft, but you try taking it
straight in.
Oh! Oh dear me!
It is kicking off absolutely everywhere. We cannot keep up with what is going on.
Oh,
we need about 17 cameras.
What's this? Steve Morocco has got hold of the belt.
They've got the belts, the homemade belts that the Death Squad made.
What's
for
this?
the tag team title. Now,
they're not walking away, surely.
Here? What have they got planned here?
They're not walking away, surely. I think... I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but it seems to me that Steve Morocco is just put... No, Paul Terrell's back in there. Oh, dear me. Dear me. I thought for a minute there that Steve Morocco and Paul... What's going on?
They could walk off, that's the thing. Too Far Gone could walk off. The only thing at stake here is the motorbike. That's the only thing they'd lose. They don't want it, they don't like it. So if they walked away, they just give the motorbike back to Too Far Gone. To the Death Squad, rather, excuse me. They've got nothing to worry about. It depends how much they desperately want to win the Tiny Girls, because that's what they have to gain if they win here. That and, of course, keeping a bike, which they don't want. It's all too confusing for me. Do you hear me, man? I'm confused.
I know. Please just calm down. And look at this. Again, that ring post being exposed. Oh!
Properly.
Steve Morocco there going for a sleeper hold, and Paul Terrell just kicks the pad out the way.
Well, that could hurt someone. That pad could hurt someone lying in the ring like that.
These guys have got... Oh, my God. Paul Terrell has got hold of that belt. No. Please, referee. Referee. Oh! He nails his own partner. This could be the beginning of the end for Too Far Gone. If not losing the match, if not, they're going to split over this. Honestly, he nails his own partner with those belts, and Iron Duke with that big knee to the forehead of Steve Morocco. But look at this, the referee's just, instead of concentrating on the match, is more interested in putting this pad back. Referee, turn round, look what's going on, and he has done there.
Maybe he heard you.
Dear me, this is so... Dear me! Oh, what's this? Dear me, I think...
Oh, now that's quite a handful.
There you go. But look what's happening inside the ring. Oh, here it comes. Sheffield Hammer.
This could be it now.
1,
2,
3. Yes, and look at that. Steve Morocco was not there to help his partner out. The Death Squad are your winners. Death Squad reclaiming that bike.
Well, they've done it on their home ground. They've had the support, and they did the job.
Not for the belt.
This weren't the title match.
Not for the belt.
This weren't the title match. This was just for that heap. This is for the bike, not the titles. This is for the bike.
They want those belts back, because this was not a title bout. It was, as we've said and kept on saying, just for that motorbike. And of course the Tiny Girls. But with the Death Squad winning They keep hold of the tiny girls, and of course, they regain the motorbike.
There's no way you could have beat us. It's just because you're here in front of all these idiots, in front of your home crowd. You're welcome to that motorbike. You're welcome to that motorbike. Not on this turf again. Back to the UWA. Back to where there's some rules.
I've got no emotion anyway.
It doesn't matter about the bike. We're still the UWA Tag Team Champions, and that's all I've got to say about that. And you're not.
But too far gone, taunted them there at the end, reminding them of the fact they may have got their bike back, but they have not got their belts back.
Let's take another look at that finishing move.
Well, this is how it all began, and Steve Morocco could well have been there for his partner if he hadn't had his hands full with the tiny girl.
Well, that's it. Steve Morocco, obviously preoccupied, and there you have it, the Sheffield Hammer. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3.
And there they have it, the bike is back in the possession of the Death Squad. Well, we've brought you a very interesting show today, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll agree here from the Bulldog Bash. And in future weeks, we'll be recapping some of the greatest hits of the UWA with the help of such luminaries as Kerry Cabrero, Doug Williams, and controversial manager Steve Linsky. From myself and Mr. Bridlington, good night.
Good night.
Thank you.